As of right now, Nate Diaz seems to have absolutely no interest in pursuing a trilogy with Conor McGregor, despite all the pressure he's facing from not only the fans, but the community itself as well. Let's get into what we know about his thoughts and other UFC news making rounds. First, Diaz thinks McGregor needs to earn their next fight. Ever since their dramatic rematch at UFC 202 in August 2016, a trilogy bout between Diaz and McGregor has been discussed after their fight ended with McGregor earning a majority decision over his rival. A third meeting to settle the score would be a guaranteed box office success since Diaz won their first fight by second-round submission. While McGregor has been sidelined since injuring his leg in a fight against Dustin Poirier last July, Diaz has been in talks to fight that very same Dustin Poirier, the former interim lightweight champion. He still sees Diaz crossing paths with McGregor inside the octagon again someday, but UFC President Dana White said that the gears are still in motion for Diaz versus Poirier in an interview with TMZ. Issuing a response via Twitter saying that McGregor is going to have to get him some wins and prove he's not so fragile first after Diaz caught wind of White's comments. Coming off consecutive losses to Poirier, McGregor also has gone just 2-3 in the UFC since their second fight. Also, coming off of back-to-back losses, Diaz has fought 3 times during that same stretch. Next, no timetable for McGregor's return. Though the former 2-division champion has hinted that he could return this year to face UFC champion Charles Oliveira, no definitive timetable has been given for McGregor's return. In May, at UFC 274, Oliveira is set to defend his title against Justin Gaethje. White offered a more conservative prediction for McGregor's next fight, however. McGregor said he could begin sparring again in April and be back by the summer. White told TMZ that McGregor is chomping at the bit to come back, but realistically, when you look at everything that he's got going on right now, with coming back and other things that need to be done to get ready to prepare again, his return will probably be in early fall. Diaz isn't too keen on settling the rivalry. Settling his rivalry with Conor McGregor isn't something Nate Diaz is keen on for the time being. A trilogy bout with McGregor always has loomed for Diaz, with wins for both men in their previous 2 fights against each other. In the rematch at UFC 202, McGregor was able to avenge that by edging out Diaz. When he handed McGregor his first octagon loss at UFC 196, the UFC star from Stockton shocked the world. Diaz apparently isn't looking to fight McGregor with 1 fight left on his UFC deal, who most recently broke his leg in a loss to Dustin Poirier when they competed last July. Now Poirier is his next target. In an interview with Adam's Apple, Diaz said not right now when speaking of fighting McGregor because he believes he has a lot of work to do. The fight that has Diaz's attention is Dustin Poirier instead, whom he was once booked to face at UFC 230 before the fight fell apart. He continued by saying that he's on his last fight of his contract, and so he would like to fight Poirier immediately. He believes it's going to be all different next month when things changed. The fight is yet to be finalized, but Diaz and Poirier seemingly have been on a collision course for a while now. Diaz has been vocal on social media, jabbing at the likes of Poirier, Khamzat Chimaev, and Jake Paul in the meantime. In a unanimous decision loss to Leon Edwards at UFC 263, it's been 8 months since Diaz last competed. Something he feels compelled to do is keeping his name in the headlines, and Diaz has done a good job of this. Diaz has said that he can't physically get to them, which disgusts him because he has a bigger following than them, so their unavailability is obnoxious to him. So to get a hold of them, he has to end up trash-talking them. Now, in other UFC news, UFC London was almost relocated to Abu Dhabi. By every metric, UFC London was a massive success of an event. Not only did the crowd create an absolutely electric atmosphere in response, and all the United Kingdom-based fighters on the main card won, it also managed to break the Sportsgate record at the O2 Arena. UFC President Dana White came to the post-fight press conference exhausted, but visibly pleased and chummed around with reporters for a half hour. He was complimenting the energy of British fans and was debating best performances. In 2022, UFC originally had no plans on returning for another show, but that's about to change. Dana said that the event re-energized him and reminded him what it's like to do fights over in the UK. He confirmed that they'll be coming back here regardless of the schedule. The way he looks at it, they would take half the kids that won and come back to the UK to do a card with them, and then October, they take the other half of the kids to Abu Dhabi. He continued by saying this is the greatest batch of talent they have ever seen in the history of the UK. It's worth noting that its last attempt in September 2021 ended up being moved to UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada because of COVID-19 restrictions, and if you think it's crazy that UFC only planned the single UK event in 2022, this event almost got moved to Abu Dhabi 2 weeks out. White said that they encountered some problems and they even considered pulling out. Moreover, they would have refunded everyone's tickets and gone to Abu Dhabi. He continued by saying it's not as easy to do business, and he said he just won't play games. He's going to go to places where he will be able to go and run his business and do what he wants to do. too. They definitely want to go to France this year. Next, Masvidal and Covington brawl it out. On Monday night in Miami, they did not share the Glatt kosher tomahawk at Poppy Steakhouse, so we know that Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal still have beef. The UFC welterweights got into a brawl that was serious enough to warrant police intervention instead. On Twitter, Andy Slater, the Fox Sports radio host, first reported the fight. Malky Kawa, Masvidal's manager, posted on social media and said that he heard that someone not from Miami who says he's the king of it is missing a tooth. He went on to ask for a video and applauded the altercation. Earlier this month in Las Vegas at the UFC 272 pay-per-view main event, Covington defeated Masvidal. After his former friend and training partner crossed the line during his pre-fight trash talk, Masvidal openly refused to bury the hatchet. Masvidal told reporters that Covington talked ill of his children after losing a unanimous decision. He threatened to break Covington's jaw if he saw him out on the streets. However, not everyone was sympathetic to his cause. For example, podcaster Bob Menery wrote on Twitter, not long after posting dinner photos with Covington on Instagram, saying that he's extremely disappointed in Masvidal as a professional fighter tonight. He reiterated that he never had a problem with Masvidal. He said Masvidal let a lot of people down. Menery is extremely disappointed in the way he decided to handle his ongoing beef that has already been decided on a regulated platform. Kawa fired back with a few choice words and said that he guesses that it may be okay in Menery's world to talk about others' children, but it isn't for him. After the altercation, Masvidal was also on social media. Masvidal said that when you talk trash, you have to back it up around his city. In this incident, police have not filed charges. Lastly, PFL regular season set to return. On April 20th at Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas, the promotion will kick off its 2022 regular season and will be airing live on ESPN. Tickets went on sale on March 22nd. Pricing starts at $150 for reserve seating and $550 for VIP seats. PFL CEO Peter Murray said that the Professional Fighters League season is back after their renewal with ESPN, and they are excited to bring the best fighters in the world to Arlington and Atlanta. He continued by saying that the PFL continues to disrupt the sport of MMA with their elite talent, unique season format, and innovative smart cage technology, with 2022 set to be their biggest year yet. On Thursday, April 28th and Friday, May 6th, the PFL 2022 regular season will continue in Arlington before switching over to Atlanta, Georgia for the second half of the season on Friday night starting June 17th, then continuing on June 24th and July 1st. Returning champions Kayla Harrison and Ray Cooper III are expected to compete, but the fight cards and lineups for this season have yet to be revealed. The promotion promises upward of 50% new fighters for fresh competition in addition to this. And that's all we have for you today, folks, but we'll be back with more interesting videos. So keep your eyes peeled to stay informed about the sports industry and keep watching our videos. Tell us what you think about Diaz's stance on the trilogy by sounding off in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe before leaving. Signing off!